Oh, it's starting it. The sun is moving.
Don't you love live TV?
Oh. Hello, 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 everyone. It's time for some TLC. I am your host, Tamika Jones. And if you can tell, we are coming to you live from a different location. And the location is sunny California, particularly San Diego. Beautiful San Diego. I am so happy to be joining you guys tonight and for you to be joining us. Yes, well, you are in for a treat. Yes, you're going to say, Tamika, every week you tell us we're in for a treat. Well, that's the truth. You're in for a treat. We have some amazing guests for you today, starting with the CEO and founder of Black Travel Expo. That is Maurice Foley. He is going to talk to us some great things that's going to be happening next summer with Black Travel Expo, the first that will be in the city of Atlanta, Georgia, next summer in June. And we're going to talk more about that. But also, I'm excited to bring in Dr. Nadeen White. She is a blogger, award-winning blogger, that is, for the Sophisticated Life, and she's also a physician, you guys. So she is her motto is blogger by day and physician by night. I absolutely love it, and she has so much more, many more accolades. But I'm gonna let her tell more about herself. Actually, both Maurice and Dr. Nadeen. So I'm gonna bring them on in. Again, you are here. This is Travel and Lifestyle Conversations. Let's get this party started. It's a little windy out here, but you know what? We're going to have fun with it. There is Maurice. Hi, Maurice. Okay, great.
Hey,
And then we have Dr. Nadeen White. Yes.
Hey,
Welcome
everybody.
to
Hey.
Hi.
Conversations.
Hey.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yes,
This was
thank
great.
you for joining us. We are going to have a good time. I apologize for the wind, but I'm not going to apologize for the sun.
I'm jealous. Oh my gosh.
Again, everyone, we are here live from San Diego, California, and we have some amazing guests again, Maurice Foley and Dr. Nadeen White. We're going to jump right in, everyone. Okay, Maurice, tell everybody about the Black Travel Expo that's going to be coming to Atlanta next summer.
Well, the Black Travel, thank you for having me, first of all. And I was just thrilled when you contacted me and said, hey, would you be on my show to talk about this brand new event, this inaugural exciting event? And I said, absolutely. So the Black Travel Expo is the first of its kind. And it's really to embrace travelers, people of color that actually have made significant contributions to or within the travel industry, and to also find out who's who in the travel industry, learn more about travel, and learn more about how to travel safely, and just be more educated about travel and who our players are in the travel industry, especially people of color. And I just thought it was important to start this platform. That's what it's all about, providing a platform, stage, and opportunities for those that need to be seen, need to be heard, those that have growing platforms, and to provide that outlet for them. So, of course, I'll go more into detail about the Black Travel Expo and how, unless you want me to talk about it now, I can tell you how I actually kind of came up with it. Um, but yeah,
Don't give them all the meat and potatoes. Don't give them all the meat and potatoes. We got to save it. You know what I mean? Hold
it's an
on.
exciting story.
Yes, and I'm excited. And I'm sure everybody else is as well. Okay, Dr. Nadeen White. Oh my God, you are a woman of many talents.
Well, thank you. I'm a multitasker.
Absolutely. Like, yes, I don't know how you do that. Please tell us. So I brought a cheat sheet.
You're funny.
And you see, I have so many things here. I said, am I going to get to all this?
Oh my goodness.
I should have sent you mine.
Okay, so Doc, what'd you say, Maurice?
I should have sent you mine.
Well, I did ask for, I did ask. Okay, and so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna tell. I should just let you share. I'll let you share.
Oh, well, thank you. That's a great introduction. Like you mentioned, I call myself a travel blogger by day, physician by night. I started my blog, The Sophisticated Life, over 8 years ago. And
wow.
It was really just a creative outlet, sharing my travel experiences with friends and family. And it grew into me writing travel guides to try and encourage people to travel all over the world and giving them the resources to do so. Physician by night, because I'm a hospital physician here in Atlanta, Georgia for 9 years now.
Wow.
And then last year when the pandemic hit, I pretty much pivoted to talking about the pandemic and trying to educate people about COVID and the vaccines. And so then I was part of the Black Travel Alliance, one of the founding members and board members last summer, because of course, like so many other Black travel content creators, I saw that there was just a lack of diversity in the travel industry. And myself and about 18 other travel content creators felt like we needed to do something about it. And so we founded the Black Travel Alliance. So that's been a passion of mine this past year, trying to increase diversity in the travel industry. So yeah, I've been a little bit busy, but it's all been worth it.
Absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
So you missed a few things. Brand ambassador for
yes.
That's the Oprah magazine.
Yes, I am.
That's a big deal.
Yes, O Daily. So they rebranded. So Oprah Magazine is now Oprah Daily. So I'm a brand ambassador for Oprah Daily, which is awesome. This is my second year doing that. I appeared on CNN last year talking about the pandemic. And most recently, I'm now the travel health expert for Wonderful, which is a global community of over 40,000 female travelers around the world. So they started a new program, and I'm going to be the travel health expert, giving webinars and educating their community on travel health. So I'm excited about that. And I'm speaking at the Black Travel Expo next summer with Maurice. Yes.
So I was going to say I was going to have the chance to meet you, but like you said, all three of us are based in
Yes.
Atlanta, so I should be able to meet you sooner than later.
Yes,
Let's
absolutely.
make that happen.
Absolutely.
So tell us, Dr. White, since we are speaking to you right now, how did you get this travel bug?
My family is Jamaican, but my parents immigrated to New York City back in the 70s when I was born, actually. And my mother traveled all over the world. My great aunt and uncle actually opened up a travel agency in Brooklyn. Jamaican immigrants, who would have thought, like in the 70s, right? And my mother traveled with them, with their travel agency all over the world. So I grew up with my mother bringing back gifts and toys from Singapore, from Budapest, from Africa. And then my mother and father also traveled a lot, went on safaris. And so that's pretty much how I got the travel bug from my mother. And so I kind of always wanted to travel to all the places she did. And so once I finished my medical training, I had this mission to go to at least one new place every year, whether it was domestic or international. And that's kind of how it started. I didn't finish residency till 29. So by the time I was 29, 30 is when I started traveling. So I felt like I was behind a lot of people. So I kind of tried to make up for lost time. And so I've kind of been traveling a lot since then. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, what about you? What about you, Maurice?
Yeah, for me, my travel bug started, I think, when I was about 6 or 7 years old. I'm originally from Bermuda, where I am right now. Grew up in Bermuda at a young age and then moved to the US and then moved back to do high school. Yeah, so my mother really exposed me to a lot as far as traveling, and I just got the bug. I enjoyed being on airplanes. I enjoyed being in cars. I enjoyed, doing anything that was travel related. And so I was just always open-minded and ready to explore the world. So I always kind of hooked up with people that were going places. Even from, going into my teenage year and young adult years, I was just like, hey, where are you going? I would like to do that. And then it got to the point where I started traveling alone because people just didn't want to go or certain places because of their fears and apprehensions. And I just went. And so I've traveled to like probably over 20 different countries now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so, and even multiple times, because I found that traveling to different countries, you can't see it all in a couple of days or a week. You kind of, if you really enjoy the experience, you should, at least take a second look. And they do a part 2 of that. And that's what I've found with myself, is that I've always been open and always was interested in what the local community was doing, how they live, not just the touristy things to do, but really get into the neighborhoods to really get to know the people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So over 20 countries you've traveled. What about you, Dr. White? How many places have you traveled?
I'm probably one of those, like the rare person or people that I don't count countries. I have no idea. I will say that I count continents. So I've been to 5 continents. And so I haven't been to South America yet, which is just crazy.
Wow.
I had planned to go to Brazil. We had a trip completely booked to Brazil last May. And then of course the pandemic hit. And I haven't been to Antarctica. So I've been to 5 continents. And so I can say that, but I have no idea how many countries. None. I just travel and, go to places on my bucket list, and I have no clue.
Well, that's okay, because clearly you travel a lot of places.
Right. Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and just dive into this conversation, especially as it relates to diversity in travel. I'm going to throw this question to you first, Maurice.
Sure.
Talk to us about the importance of diversity in the field of travel and how basically it led you to create the first Black Travel Expo. Now you can give us the meat and potatoes.
Okay, so it was June of 2020. I was sitting at home, working from home, just like everyone else, in the middle of COVID. American Travelers, and also, and then it was MMGY Global and Black Travel Alliance that came up with their research on the same type of study. And it seemed like the numbers like doubled. There was like over $100 billion that were spent by African American travelers on leisure travel. And I said, well, wait a minute. If we're spending that much money in the travel industry, why don't we have our own platform, our own event, our own expo, a meeting place that we can come together and find out who's who in specifically the Black travel industry, you know? And so I that just kind of moved me as far as diversity is concerned, because I've been to travel expos and I've been to conferences and conventions, and we were just not represented heavily or enough at these events. So I felt that why not we do it ourselves? We have enough resources out here. We have enough people that are influencers that have now formed organizations, and we're trying to build alliances and that sort of thing. Then, if not me, then who? And I've traveled all over the world. I've organized events before, and I said, but more importantly, it was about recognition, accountability, making sure that these large corporations see us, and also that we see ourselves so that we can support ourselves. Okay. And so it was important to me that we recognize where we are as a group, and then also expose ourselves to say, hey, we're here. We contribute to the travel industry, and we want to be heard, and we want to be a part of this wonderful world of travel.
Oh, it's fantastic. So how do you actually help? It's going to help in with diversifying travel now, this
Yes.
Black Expo, Black
Yeah,
Travel
so
Expo.
absolutely. I think diversity and inclusion, equality, is all important. I mean, if we're talking about post, all of the racial tension that we've had, not only in the United States but across the world, certainly, especially with George Floyd situation, brought and the Black travel movement and it just brought more spotlight on us as a culture. So this was an opportunity to say, now we need to bring more diversity into the office, into the workplace, into places of business, so that we're valuable just as much as the next person or the next culture. We're talented enough, we're gifted enough, and we certainly make significant contributions that sometimes go unrecognized. So now it's kind of, let's get to the front street of this, and to also to be open, and to kind of quench any fears that others may have of our culture, to say that, hey, we would like to work with you as well, and then we can do this.
Right. Dr. White, I'm going to throw the question to you as well, but I also want to let all of our viewers know that please, uh, any questions or comments, feel free to engage in the conversation. Ask Maurice and Dr. White whatever it is that's on your mind, and I mean, of course, keep it appropriate, keep it sexy, but please engage in the conversation. But Dr. White, as with your niche, your
Mhm.
area as it relates to just travel and wine and life, how do you think what you're doing is helping to diversify travel?
Right. So for me, it was funny because when I started, a few years after I started, my blog covers like I would say affordable luxury travel. I'm
Mm.
not staying in five-star luxury hotels every time I travel. But affordable luxury travel, food and wine. And so the reason I even started saying that was I was at a travel conference and somebody said, well, Nadine, you cover luxury travel. There's not a lot of Black travel bloggers in the
Mm.
luxury, niche. And I'm like, I'm luxury? I didn't even know that. I didn't
Wow.
even consider myself that because I literally just was blogging about the things I naturally do. I enjoy I'm definitely was never a budget backpacker. I always stayed at nice hotels. I enjoy fine dining. I, follow Michelin star chefs and restaurants. Always go to wine regions. I got my first wine certification last year. So, in terms of doing those things, I don't see a lot of Black people, when I do those things when I travel. In terms of when I would go to look for other bloggers that would blog about those things, there
Right.
aren't a lot. So I think for me, it was important for me to really blog about wine tasting and really shine the light on Black sommeliers or Black wine,
Right.
companies and Black wine owners and stuff like that, because there just weren't a lot of people doing it. And I wanted people to know, like, it's okay if you go to Paris to go to the Champagne region. It's okay
Right.
to go to Bordeaux. It's okay to go to these
Absolutely.
places, and my guides will show you how to do that. It's okay to have an interest in wine if you're a Black person. So kind of like demystifying that luxury travel market. And so for me, that's been important. And I think there's a little bit more of that from what I can tell. There's still not a lot. And I see it now on Instagram where you'll see people saying, it's okay for Black people to be, to enjoy luxury. Let's make that okay. It's okay to do that. So yeah, for me, again, it's important for me to show that and for me to write about that and to demystify that among, Black people who are traveling. So
Yeah, I mean, just to piggyback on what Nadine said,
Right.
as I was doing my research on um, entrepreneurs that are in the Black travel industry, I was coming across a lot of Black-owned products and services that I had no idea was out there, or at least wasn't receiving the coverage. And I was like, this will be a great time and opportunity to put them on stage
mhm.
to really present what it is that they're doing, the kind of products and services that they can offer to the travel community, and then also to encourage us to buy from them and to
Yeah.
support them, because we really need our own. In order for us to grow, we need to really encourage and support each other. And Nadine also mentioned wines. That's one of my favorite pastimes, or even currents, is that when I go to South Africa every year,
Oh,
it's wine country for
yeah.
sure.
One of my
And
Absolutely.
favorite. Yeah, that's one of
yes,
my favorite wine areas. Stellenbosch. Oh my gosh. Oh, I just
yes,
moved there.
yeah.
Oh
And
my
that's one
gosh.
So
thing
we
that
do
that I
have
that
a
I
few.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Maurice. Go ahead.
Oh, that's one thing I do appreciate, post apartheid and going to South Africa and seeing all of that, kind of take place down there. It just encourages me and pushes me every day, to say that, hey, we could have the same thing here
Mhm.
as well in the United States. And we need to have that growth and support.
Okay. So we do have some questions coming in, which is
Oh,
great. So, Dr. Nadine,
oh,
uh, Bella says, "Love the map in the background. Is that
that is
Africa?"
Africa. Yes, it's a world map, but I'm right in front of Africa. And he has a, oh, it's perfect. We
Oh, you both on? Okay, we both have Africa. So believe it or
Yeah.
not, I have not traveled to Africa. I'm embarrassed to say that I have not been, but I will be soon. Have either one of you traveled to Africa?
You go
Yes,
first,
so
Nadine.
yeah, so I've been to South Africa twice.
Oh
That's
wow,
yeah, so that's the only
fascinating.
place I've been in Africa. So I'm anxious to go to other places.
Well, for me, I've been traveling to South Africa for the last 20 years. Every year I go, and now I take groups of people down there, especially to Cape Town, as an introductory, and then we move into Johannesburg, and then I've been to Pretoria, Durban, and all the places, cities in South Africa. I just got back from Ghana, and Accra, Kumasi, Cape Coast, and all did that for 10 days in June. And then I'm going over to do the Great Migration next July,
Oh, nice.
Oh
um,
wow.
over in Tanzania and Kenya and all of that. So my plan is to visit every country on the continent of Africa within the next 10 years, if I can.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
Amazing. Yeah.
yeah.
You
So
know
I
what? I
enjoy the
want to.
safaris and everything. So you've got to come with me on my next trip, if possible, Tamika, and then I'll show you South Africa.
Okay, so when's the next trip?
Well, I'm leaving on November. I'm leaving on November. I'm leaving on November the 2nd.
Oh, you're
And I'll be
leaving
there
that
for
soon?
and I'll be there for 3 months though. So you have 3 months to
Oh
make it
my
down.
Oh
gosh.
yeah. So did you say you're going to South Africa?
Yeah, I'll be in South Africa for 3 months. Yeah.
Oh my God. So
Nice.
I've seen the beautiful. I have a friend who would visit there frequently. But yes, I don't want to say count me in because if I don't make it in 8 months, in the 3 months, but I don't want to ignore the elephant in the room, and that is traveling during COVID. So how do you guys feel about traveling during COVID? Clearly, I don't have no problem over here.
Go ahead, Nadeen.
As I'm in, by the way, before either one of you answer the question, you guys, I'm live from sunny California in San Diego. We are live on Travel and Lifestyle Conversations. I'm actually going to have to move inside because it's a bit windy.
Okay.
So when we start answering questions, I'm going to transition and take myself off the stream temporarily. But please ask questions, leave comments. We have some more comments and questions coming in. But Maurice or Dr. Wright, take it from here. I mean, again, the elephant in the room, traveling during COVID. How do you guys feel about it?
Well, I guess, yeah, as Marie says, I'll go first. So I have been traveling. Last year, I don't think I went on a trip till August. I've only traveled done domestic travel. I have not traveled internationally. But I am vaccinated. Like I mentioned, I'm a hospital physician. So I was one of the first people probably to get vaccinated December and January of last year. So I obviously recommend people be vaccinated to travel. I do think it's possible, obviously, to travel safely. And, we're going to be in this pandemic for a while. So, taking precautions in terms of being vaccinated, researching the destination you're going to, and making sure that you follow all of their rules. People often are going to places and not realizing, oh, I was supposed to get a test before and I'm going to get tested once I land. And, oh, I tested positive, so I can't go back into the US. And, not having travel insurance, which obviously I also highly recommend. So I think you need the 3 things I definitely recommend are obviously getting vaccinated, researching the destination, making sure you know all of the rules and guidelines for what that destination requires, making sure you have a plan in case you do test positive, coming back into the US. Obviously, having travel insurance, making sure you have medical evacuation as part of that travel insurance, because no matter what age you are, you never know if you're going to get sick once you're traveling. If you are high risk in terms of illnesses, elderly, then I think you should definitely consider, traveling out of the country right now, especially if you're unvaccinated. And actually, I will just make a plug because right now, my blog, if you sign up for my newsletter, which is free, I have a complete guide on traveling during the pandemic, what to do before, during, and after, that goes through all of this. And it's like a checklist that you can do. So it provides links and printouts that you can look over if you're going to be traveling during the pandemic. So that's the advice I would give right now.
Yeah, I mean, I follow that advice as well. I've actually followed it to the T. I've actually been traveling since July of last year. I think, well, maybe sooner than that. And of course, always wearing a mask. They made us wear a mask on the airplane, always carrying sanitizer with me, that sort of thing. And I didn't get vaccinated until like earlier this year. And so I've been tested probably 18, 19 times because it's required to leave the country and come back into the country as well. So I've been traveling as normal because I've had other things going on in other countries. So I've had to travel in and out of the United States.
Sure.
And so, I've taken the precautions, all that you spoke about, so that I can remain in kind of like in my own safe bubble, which has been an experience. People used to kind of laugh at me or, look at me strangely before COVID was a thing. When I used to travel long distances, especially going long distance to South Africa or other countries, or even domestically, I would always wear a mask regardless.
Good for you.
I was wearing a mask along for years.
Like in Asia, they always wear masks.
Yeah, and so, people would always look at me on the plane like, why is he wearing a mask? Now it's just like, okay, we're all wearing masks. So, you just have to be a smart traveler and really protect yourself, and then, just go from there. So I've had a great experience traveling through COVID. I am fully vaccinated, and so I feel more comfortable now doing so.
Oh, great. Thanks for holding it down for me. We had some technical issues, but we're back. Here's another question. Have you been to Egypt, and what would you advise? Good question.
I haven't been.
Oh, okay. No, I have not been to Egypt. I've just read a lot of things about it. Of course, gone on YouTube and watched videos and that sort of thing. It is on my bucket list because I do want to see the pyramids. From what I understand, they're kind of not dissolving. They're kind of they're not. They've been there a long time. Okay, so they're not.
Going anywhere.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere, but at the same time, the maintenance of them is very, they're trying to keep up with the maintenance of them as well. But which is a heavy undertaking to get it back to really touch artifacts like that. So I've never been to Egypt before.
Definitely on my bucket list also.
Oh, absolutely. It's on mine as well.
Yeah.
But all of Africa is on my bucket list.
Right.
at this
Yeah,
point.
exactly.
It's a great
All of
place.
it. So I wanted to go back, Maurice, as you're saying you take groups of people on trips or excursions to Africa. When did this start? Tell us more about that, because people may be interested in tagging along.
Yeah, so I always went to South Africa specifically, and I initially started going there in 2000, and with my family, there was a community that was in need of a church and community center. So we went down to support with my great aunt and great uncle who were missionaries, and so that was my first time going down there. We went to the small town called Bisho, which is outside of East London, South Africa, and we actually helped fund the project, help them actually break ground, brick and mortar, that sort of thing. And I just fell in love with the country. And then I kept going after that until one year I said, you know what, I'll just kind of let my friends know what I've been doing and where I've been going. And I invited a couple of people, and it just caught on from there, where they were just like, they had a misconception, they had a misunderstanding about the whole South Africa era, apartheid, how people live, what visually we were seeing on TV over the years. And they were pleasantly or excitingly surprised when they arrived to say, wait a minute, this is not what they showed us, And so it caught on from there, where I had one successful group. And then I decided to start my own travel company where I was taking groups of people down there every November, which is the beginning of spring. Okay. So it just kind of grew from there. And now it's of course during COVID it was quiet, but now people are just emailing me and say, hey, when's the next trip? When's the next trip? They're ready to go. And so my whole experience about going to South Africa specifically was to make sure that our people were educated on the country itself, on the continent, but specifically the significance of South Africa, Nelson Mandela, the impact that he had on so many nations, and how he brought his country through that period. And so it's definitely life-changing. And I do not recommend that. If you do go for a week, you're going to want more because you can't see it all. And so I just encourage everyone. But that's how everything kind of started. And I've been very successful at doing that.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. I apologize. I just wanted to be able, I know people will be like, well, how do we get to learn more about it? How can we tag along to Africa? He only invited Tamika.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I can plug my own website, but I don't know. But my company is Two Oceans Travel and Tours, or Two Oceans Travel and Tours. The Two Oceans name represents the Atlantic Ocean and the Indian Ocean. Africa sits in the middle. So it's called Two Oceans Travels and Tours. I'm going to be updating the website actually next week with the new dates for the new trips for next year. South Africa to Ghana and also to East Africa.
Repeat that one more time. You said Two Oceans Travel and Tours?
No, yeah, Two Oceans Travel and Tours. I think the website is under twooceanstravel.com. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna add this in here just so people can see it. Here we go. Twooceanstravel.com. Is that right?
Yeah, I think. Hold on, I just updated that. Yeah, I'll put it out there. I'll put it in the comments just to make sure.
Okay, put it in the comments.
Yeah, because I changed the name, but I'll get it in the comments.
Okay, Dr. Nadeen, if I'm not mistaken, you are a pediatrician, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so parents are going to love to get some advice or tips on how
Mhm.
they can travel with their children and feel like they're traveling safety. Any tips or advice you could recommend?
Sure. So, I mean, as most people know, if your child is 12 or above, they can get the Pfizer vaccine. Pfizer is approved for children 12 and above, Moderna for 18 and above. So, for kids less than 12, the best way to protect your kids is for you to be vaccinated.
Yeah.
So that would be the best way. And then Pfizer just came out and said the vaccine is safe for 5 to 10. It's not approved yet by the FDA, but that probably will happen in the next month or so. So that would be the first step. The second step, I would say, is if your child in a low risk or high risk category. So personally, for me, I work, as I mentioned, in the hospital. The kids that I see that are being hospitalized are obviously like newborns. So, newborns to a couple months old, they're the most vulnerable to illnesses. So, would I suggest traveling if you have a newborn or a 2 or 3 month old? No. And then usually beyond that, it's teenagers. So, like 13 to 18, 19, teenagers that are obese, have diabetes, asthma. So for those kids, they're usually more in the high risk category. So if those teenagers are unvaccinated, then those are the ones that we usually see being more sick or being hospitalized with COVID pneumonia. And so you need to really consider that when you're deciding on travel plans if your child is in a high risk category. So once you decide that and you're like, okay, my kids are good, they're low risk, they're vaccinated, then again, researching destination, going to places that probably have lower numbers of COVID. Florida right now would not be my choice, right? Florida has very high numbers of COVID, and looking at hospitals, that are overloaded with patients. So states like that, like Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, probably won't be the best locations. And then in terms of what you're going to be doing on your vacation, outdoor activities are always going to be the best bet. If you can stay all together, Maurice kind of mentioned a bubble. So if you're going with your family or people that you normally associate with, is the best bet. Going into like an Airbnb where you can kind of stay in your own bubble is always going to be the best bet. And again, like doing more outdoor activities versus doing things like indoors are going to be the better choice when you're doing family vacations. So that's what I usually.
What about international travel? Do you recommend?
So it's not that I recommend or not recommend. I think, again, researching the destination. So countries that there's a lot of countries. United States is not doing very well, if I'm going to be honest, with COVID, the pandemic. So there's a lot of countries that have better numbers than we do in terms of how their vaccination rates. So countries that have higher vaccination rates than we do, countries that have lower numbers, have lower hospitalization rates. So countries like that, sure, I would take my kids. And again, if your kids are in a low risk category, then I see no reason not to do international travel. You may be in a state that probably has higher numbers than the place that you're going to. Again, just do the research and follow all the guidelines of getting tested, before and after whatever is required of that destination.
Yeah, and also to piggyback on that, all of my groups that are
Please.
now working with us are requesting, hey, can we all be in one house? Because the requirement is that they're all vaccinated and then they're all, of course, tested for COVID prior to boarding that flight.
Right.
So, once everybody gets there, they know that they're in their own bubble, so to speak, and they can maintain that during the trip.
Right.
And so that's a very good point, is that now I have groups of people asking, hey, can you put us in a big house where we can be together?
Right.
And that's worked out really well. And also, so the website is twooceansafrica.com. It's basically from Two Oceans Tours to Two Oceans Africa, because I wanted to.
I got you.
Yeah, okay, cool. I had to make sure that Africa was in there because that's where we're going. You know,
Got it. Got it. TwoOceansAfrica.com,
there you
everyone.
go.
Two Oceans Africa. And thank you, Dr. White, because that was some great, definitely great tips and recommendations for people to travel safely. But also, I don't want to miss the fact that, Dr. White, you have some travel guides
Yeah.
that's people can available online that you've had some this in something that an author can be added to her list to Dr. White's list of accomplishments here.
Yes.
So please, can you tell us more about your travel guide?
Yes. So on Amazon, I have travel ebooks. So you can go to Amazon either under my name or they're available on my website. So I have 3 ebooks right now. One are travel guides to both domestic and international destinations. So for me, it's always about like what to see, where to eat, what to do. So very basic travel guides on like but popular destinations both in the US and internationally, but I break it down because for most people I wish I had like 2 weeks in each destination, but that's not the thing for most people. You get like a week, a weekend, so it's like 48 hours in Mykonos, Greece, 72 hours in Paris. So that's pretty much how my travel guides are for for most travelers. That's the amount of time that you have in most destinations. And then I have a book that's specific for culinary travel guides. So that's about food and wine. So that's like if you're in, South Africa and you're in Cape Town and you want to do a day trip to Stellenbosch, this is how you do that. If you're in Paris and you want to go to Champagne, this is how you do that. So, and the culinary part is what to eat in each destination. So again, like Maurice, when I travel, I love to really dig into the local culture. So if I'm in Bangkok, I'm going to go to Chinatown. I'm going to go on a food tour, food markets. So I really go into that in the culinary guide. And then I have a whole ebook just on USA wine regions. And that's for just travelers that may not be familiar with the fact that there's actually a lot of USA wine regions to just kind of get a taste for. If you're in different areas like New York, go to the Finger Lakes and drink some Riesling. So just to kind of get an idea of what wine grape varietals are known in each region and kind of just test out your palate when you're traveling across the United States. So there's 3 different ebooks on Amazon that are available that are those basic guides. So, yep.
Can they, besides they're on Amazon, but I have your website here, the Sophisticated Life. Can they go to your website?
Yeah, they're easily available on the website. And if they go to Amazon and put in my name, then it'll come up as well.
Oh, awesome. Okay, everyone, go to the Sophisticated Life or go to Amazon and look up Dr. Nadeen White for her travel books to take you to explore. I'm actually going to purchase them as soon as I get back to Atlanta. I promise you that, Dr. White. So come on, everyone, where are the questions? Where are the comments? We only have Maurice and Dr. White for a short amount of time. So
can I talk about the expo? Because someone is asking about more information about the expo.
Oh, please. Thank you.
It will be in Atlanta, Georgia, June 2nd through the 5th at the Atlanta Marriott Marquis. And please come through there for the weekend if you can stay the entire weekend if you're from out of state. It's going to be an eye-opening experience. I'll say that much. I was just kind of answering the questions on the chat there for you from Bella.
Yes.
Yeah.
And tell people, I know we talked a little bit more about it, but just in case you are bringing in all these content creators, storytellers, influencers, but this is open to the general public as well, right?
This is absolutely open to the general public. It's just not for our culture. I want everyone that wants to learn more about the Black travel industry, and I'm calling it an industry because now it is, that to learn more about, as I mentioned, who's who in the Black travel industry. There are I'm going to have entrepreneurs that are there, exhibitors that actually own products and services in the travel industry. There's going to be keynote speakers that are actually experts, along with Dr. Nadeen. And it's just everybody's so excited. They're so excited because they're like, finally, we get to present at our own event, and it's going to be open to everyone. And that's what the part of the diversity part is all about, making sure that we keep our doors open because we want to also present the opportunity to everyone. And so it's going to be a fun-filled weekend event. We're going to have lots of entertainment. I can't tell you who just yet.
I thought we were friends.
No, I told you a long time ago that I have to keep this under wraps. And so it's going to be a fun-filled weekend, fun, entertaining. We're going to have an awards brunch. So we're going to be awarding actually those significant contributors that have made significant pathways so that we can travel more out there and see what's out there. Just go to the website and see who's going to be there. We're going to be adding a few more people and you'll be seeing the announcements coming out. Right now we have an early bird special of $99 for the entire weekend, except for the brunch. The brunch, you would have to add on a little bit more if you want to stay for the Sunday brunch. But it's $99 for the entertainment, the panel discussions, the breakout sessions, the keynote addresses, the exhibitors. I mean, I've been to a lot of conferences and they're not $99.
Exactly.
You're paying a lot more than that. But I wanted to make sure that everyone had the opportunity, no matter who they were, to attend and to see exactly what this is about and to really just welcome in their support, because this is not about an event that I'm putting on. It's about providing a platform for those that want to be involved. If you're sitting in the audience or if you want to be on stage, this is the event for you to come to.
And it's in Atlanta. I mean,
exactly.
It's in Atlanta.
Exactly.
What other
kids
know
better?
I mean,
right.
Yeah.
And
so a lot of people
for creating this opportunity,
yeah,
this space, this event for all of us to be able to be a part of. And the goal here with Travel and Lifestyle Conversation is to be able to bring more influencers and content creators and bloggers like Dr. White on the show who are going to be a part of the Black Travel Expo.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we can be able to coordinate to do that once a month so people can be able to know who is in the travel space, creating content and helping to bridge the gap and help with that diversity in travel.
Yeah, we're going to work with you on that and make sure that that happens, because I would like to start introducing people that's going to be actively involved with the Black Travel Expo so that everyone can get to know who these people are and then can finally meet them in person when they attend.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's see what other questions I have for you guys. And okay, Dr. Nadeen. So are there anything that we can anticipate that's on the horizon for you?
So like I mentioned, I'm part of Black Travel Alliance, and if anybody is not a member, they should go there and join. We accomplished a lot in this past year, and so we're looking forward to our second year of, again, increasing opportunities for Black travel content creators in the travel space. And yes, so I'm working a lot on that. Like I mentioned, I'm now the travel health expert for Wonderful. So if you're a female traveler, it's not just for travel bloggers, actually, it's for all female travelers all over the world, all ages, races, to join that. And they have conferences. They're going to be having Wonderfest in the spring, which is an outdoor festival in New Orleans. And now we're going to be doing, these resident experts are going to be doing webinars monthly to educate female travelers on everything from travel deals to health to journalism. So I'm excited about that. And yes, I'm going to be speaking at Black Travel Expo next summer. And personally, I would love to launch my own luxury getaways starting next year once COVID kind of settles down, because I would love to actually bring people with me. Every time I post about traveling, people are like, take me with you. I want to go with you. So I would love to actually start bringing people with me to some of the destinations that I really, really love. South Africa being one, Napa being another one. So I'm hoping to finally try and launch that next year when things settle down with COVID. So yes, people can sign up for my newsletter on my website, as you have there, and keep up with what I'm doing and look out for new updates.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Wonderful.
So what about you? Besides Maurice, we know that the Black Travel Expo is coming to Atlanta.
Yep.
And
So yeah, I'm expanding my travel company to open more doors for people to travel to the continent of Africa itself. I've actually just launched my own vacation property management. Yeah. So the reason why I go to Jamaica a lot is because I've just launched my first I don't vacation rental property. I don't want to say Airbnb, but it's vacation rental property. It's resort style living, and it's not going to
Right.
be just here's the key. It's yours. It's going to be an entire experience.
Wow.
And so I've just launched that. I'll be down there in the next 2 weeks just to finalize a lot of things. And then I'll be bringing on others that have also in the area that would like for me to manage that as well, because I like to make sure and it's all involves travel, of course, and it's all about the experience. So I want to kind of step it up where you're just not coming turnkey and you're on your own. No, the experience actually starts from the time that you book to the
Nice.
time that you return home.
Love
And it's something that's different, but I think it's needed, especially in the era that we're in right now, so that people feel that they can have a complete vacation that was worth it, worth their money, and also worth their time and effort. And then the time and effort that we put into it to make sure that their vacation was successful. And so I'm doing a whole new concept, so to speak, of thinking of not just vacation rental. Here's the house. It's about the entire experience, so that everyone feels special and a little bit of luxurious going on there and stuff like that.
Nice.
Private chef and massage and excursions and all of that.
I love it.
Speaking my language.
So that's
I love it.
it's fun for me, but it's a lot of work, but it's fun for me as well. So if you go to me on Facebook, Instagram, you'll see what's going on in my life because I want to do everything travel at this point. So I'm involving some real estate in there as well to get people down to Jamaica and other places as well.
Great destination.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course it
And
is.
why would you say that, Dr. White? Why is that a great destination?
I mean, Jamaica.
It is Jamaica, right? I love it. It's one of my favorite places to travel. But you have some roots there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I have all my roots there. All my roots. Kingston, Jamaica.
Yeah.
So where this is going to be located is going to be on South Coast, adjacent to Sandals, South Coast. So in that area, private beach club, everything. So we'll make sure follow me so you can get updates on that. So
love it.
But yeah,
we have to plan a group trip to Jamaica.
I know, so many trips to plan.
So here's the thing. I'm running a contest. Well, not a contest. It's just for those that buy a $99 ticket or Expo pass will be entered into a trip of a lifetime to either Jamaica to stay at the villa or to South Africa. Yes. So when you purchase your Expo pass,
oh my
we're
God,
going to be doing trip giveaways for up to 4 people.
Oh my
and
goodness.
Also, yes. And then
that's
also,
pretty huge. Okay, so this is something new. This is special. This is you heard it here first on Travel and Lifestyle Conversations. Everyone who goes and register for the Black Travel Expo, you will be entering into a drawing.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of sounds like a trip of a lifetime.
Trip of a lifetime, absolutely. Because I love South Africa so much. I figured that we would just put that in there to make sure that we get people to the expo, number one, but two, this is your opportunity to get down to South Africa and to really see it if you've never been before. Now, of course, that's why I put Jamaica in there as well. If you've already been to South Africa, then we could swap you out and take you down to Jamaica as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know.
As soon as we're done going live, I'm gonna go register. Can I still win? Do I have the potential to win?
Absolutely.
Okay. What about Dr. White? Even though she's a panelist.
Right.
There's
my name in there.
Awesome. That's so amazing.
Yeah. So
either one of those trips would be fantastic, whether you're going into Jamaica or Africa.
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome, Maurice.
Just pack your bags when you're spending money.
So what do you hope? What are some of the goals, Maurice, that you would like to achieve with the Black Travel Expo?
Yeah, so I have many goals as far as it's concerned, but really to drill down on it, I want to be able to make sure that we as a community, as a travel community, are more exposed, get more exposure, okay, to the travel world. I would like an organization to, and I don't know if one exists or not. I did my research, but I would love to connect or partner with a travel training organization that can actually do courses for people that want to get into the travel business. Okay. And so I really and I want to find, maybe I'll have to do it myself and just get people that are experts to come in and join me. But I really want to do like a travel training courses so that people can get certified and all of that stuff and be more um, people ask me all the time, are you a travel agent? And I don't like to use that word travel agent, so to speak. I'm more about, because I travel with my groups on my trips, because I want to be there as the actual tour guide. So, I'm more of a consultant. And so, I really would like people to get educated. That's my goal, is to people really get educated about the travel industry and find out who they can support. And then also to throw in there some training as well. Because I think just going on to Expedia, Orbitz, and Kayak and all these places to go book your trip, for me, that's never enough. Because I go on blogs and I go on Facebook groups, and people book their trips. They'll book a trip and then they'll ask, so what do I do now? And I'm like, what? Didn't you do your research? They'll just go and book their trip to Hong Kong, and then they'll get on the blog and say, well, what do I do?
Right.
And I'm like, wow, so I think that, when people come to the expo, they'll really understand how to travel smart, how to pack smart, more efficiently, and really how to get the best deals and get more points on your, if you're with Delta Sky Miles or whoever, how to do that as well is so important. Yes, so important, because there's a lot of incentives out there that people have no knowledge about whatsoever. So knowledge is power in this instance.
Absolutely.
And so we want to make sure that the goal here is to make sure that people are knowledgeable and educated as far as the travel industry is concerned, because it is an industry, but we can really have fun doing it.
Oh, yes. And I could go on and on and on for a whole nother hour about travel perks and benefits and Sky Miles.
Yeah, people ask me all the time, how you travel to here and there? I'm like, aha.
Right.
Aha.
Exactly. Okay. And I have a few credit cards that are my best friends. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And, I will buy a candy bar with those credit cards because it's going to give me a Sky Mile or a point to help, with my travel experiences. But again, that's a whole nother, another show. But yeah, those are great goals. And Dr. Nadeen, before we go, because we're about to wrap it up here, I want you to share what else can people expect to see and experience with the sophisticated life? Like, I know you have some things that are coming down, but what else maybe you haven't quite shared yet?
Well, I am working on a new ebook. So besides my travel, something else I added that I'm really passionate about is I've added a whole section with Black-owned businesses. So when I travel, I work with tourism boards now to really highlight Black-owned businesses. So I have some press trips coming up in the fall, and I make that a highlight of wherever I travel to now. So people will notice on my blog that I'm writing more about that. So that's been really important. But yes, I have a new ebook that I'm working on, so people can look out for that, along with some more travel guides. Because, like I mentioned, I do have some press trips coming up that I'm excited about. I won't say where, but they're pretty cool. So yeah, so look out for that.
All these secrets. People come here to get some info. Wait a minute, they come here to get the tea. They get the tea on the travel and lifestyle conversation. Okay. But I love what you're doing, Dr. White, because as I'm in San Diego, one of the things that's most important to me as I am going out to explore once again. Now that, like I said, I'm fully vaccinated, but it was important for me to visit a Black-owned business.
Yeah.
So while I'm in San Diego, I actually had a chance to go to a restaurant, a breakfast place, and it's called Breakfast Bitch. Yes, it's called Breakfast Bitch. And it's Black owned, but the vibe, it was a whole vibe. The food was amazing. The experience was amazing. And I love it was just unique. It was just different. You know what I mean?
It.
So, but it's important for me to be able to do that every place I travel to right now.
Yes. Absolutely. And that has become a total mission and goal. Every time someone approaches me, from whichever tourism board, I make that very clear to them that when I come, I want a list. And I have to say, it's been amazing because some places like have a whole page now on their website that has a list of Black-owned businesses. Some people don't. I will say that even Atlanta did not. And I wrote a whole guide for Midtown Atlanta from a Black traveler's experience. And I did that earlier this year. So if you go to Discover Atlanta, you'll see a whole Midtown Atlanta guide written by me that was from a Black traveler's experience, listing a lot of Black-owned businesses in Atlanta. Yeah. So they approached me to do that because it's really a shame that, I mean, this is Atlanta. How could there not be, Black-owned businesses focused on the Discover Atlanta website? So yeah, I've made that my passion, and people have reached out to me to do that. So that's exciting to me to be working on that.
Oh, one thing I want to mention also is that we're going to start really promoting our Black travel entrepreneurs on our website, those that are going to be exhibitors. So, every week almost, or every month as they start coming on board, we'll start putting it out there, let them know so that people can learn, get to know them more before they get to the actual expo. So we're going to be putting them out there so that they can get a lot of exposure, because they definitely need to have that.
Yeah. It's important.
Well, I really want to thank both of you. This has been an amazing conversation, so much information, but just thank you for what you all are creating in the field of travel and just trying to bridge the gap and helping all of us Black and brown people just know more about, travel and traveling safely, and encouraging more diversity in travel, which is so important. And, that whole Black travel movement, it's real. It's real.
Absolutely.
The Black travel movement is real and it's powerful. And I mean, whatever way, I'm going to go check out the Black Travel Alliance, Dr. White, see how I can become active and involved, and seeing what it is that I can do with my platform and my space to be able to encourage more people to travel. And of course, as I'm traveling again, I'm trying to travel safely, but I appreciate both of you coming on the show, talking about Black Travel Expo. I plan on being there and being able to contribute any way I can, Maurice. Please know that. Absolutely. And Dr. White, I look forward to meeting you.
Yes.
And checking out the Sophisticated Life. I'm definitely going to get a few copies of the different ebooks that you have on Amazon.
Thank you.
And make it a part. Use those as guides as I'm traveling the world. And then I have to go check out your article on Discover Atlanta. I'm surprised that didn't exist, but thank you for creating that.
No problem. No problem.
So before we go, are there any final words from either one of you?
Well, thank you for having us. I think these are important topics. I can't wait to meet you guys in person here in Atlanta. So this is awesome.
I would encourage all my brothers out there to come to the Black Travel Expo. We're going to have a panel discussion on Black men in travel. We're going to have some really good panelists because I think it's important that we also shed light on Black males out there that are making significant contributions to the travel industry, and those Black males that want to travel more. And so we're encouraging our brothers out there to also show up at the expo as well. So we're gonna have a great weekend, and I'm excited, beyond excited. And I'm so happy to be here, Tamika and Dr. Nadeen White, to share the stage with you, and thank you for the opportunity.
No, thank you both. Sorry, there's a little. It's where because again, I'm in beautiful Southern California, San Diego. So there's a lot of traffic because I'm at this amazing resort. So you probably notice it's a lot of mute on, and I'm trying to make sure I am not, all the noise behind me is not disrupting the conversation. But I thank you both, and the TLC fans know how I love to close out the show. I pretty much want to just tell everybody to continue to travel safely, live intentionally, and most importantly, cherish every moment. If you think about it, that's TLC. Thank you all for joining us. Again, Maurice, Dr. Nadeen White. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. You guys have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you.